Oh, who's at the door? Let's see. Hey, it's trick-or-treaters.
Oh my god.
What's going on, guys?
It's Jason, he's like an angel because he's glowing.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, can we come in and why are we here?
I don't know, man. I gotta get a P.O. box or something because you guys are always like raiding my channel.
Yeah, what the
My
heck?
house.
What the heck?
What? Was it you toilet papered my house? No.
No, that was Mike. That was Mike.
Come on in, guys.
I'm a roadie, man.
How was the drive?
That was a long drive.
Yeah.
We met somewhere and
Long and brutal.
waited.
So we're doing a tri-state video today, right? Because
Yeah.
technically, you know, we have 3 different states coming
It's
in.
true.
This is
All right.
All right. Well, I'm not going to film your house, but I'll let you film your house.
Sure, let's head downstairs. So we'll look at this later. That's a new pickup you'll see in a future video. Or you might have seen it already.
Ooh,
depending
look
when
at
I
that.
release it.
All right, there it is.
You wanna look at it real quick?
Film it. Yeah, let's take
Yeah.
a look at this because, you know, I saw this on Craigslist. I was on Craigslist, right?
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I should go get this. And I didn't, which was good because I'm out of room. But I saw you posted on Twitter that you got it. So I'm excited that you got it. I know who got it.
Yeah, I love this game. It's really funny because this is similar to Shinobi, and it's a whole different, you know, I don't know if they were just competing the same genre. I mean, it's uncanny how similar they are. But, I mean, there was a guy, you know, he had it for $200. I really thought someone was going to grab it. And, you know,
It was
I told
almost
him,
me. It was almost me.
Yeah. Can you imagine we're like fighting over it?
I know.
That would have been a great video.
You guys jack each other's
You
price
would
up.
beat me because you're closer, but...
So yeah, it's in decent shape. You know, coin doors are typical, you know, typical wear and stuff. But this here, I mean, I love that how the CP is all original. I might magic eraser it really gently. I'm not sure if it was a label or if it's actually screen printed right on the metal. I'm not really sure. Maybe thin vinyl, but
This looks like, I mean, you can kind of see right here when you get up right next to that joystick because there's the cutout for it.
oh, okay.
So it looks like it must have been. an
Yeah,
overlay.
but I'm gonna leave it.
Really nice one.
I'm not sure if this is available or not.
I
have
would
no
leave
idea.
it. I wouldn't
Oh,
replace
yeah.
it.
I'm gonna
This is
leave it,
worthy
yeah.
of leaving. And you know, this cap tells a story. So
Yeah, we call it patina.
we call it patina. Yeah, you know, it's got some marks on it, but you know, Jason, this is a nice looking cap.
Yeah. it's
Yeah, and
great.
this doesn't light up, which I actually didn't know till I picked it up. But there's nothing behind it. It's just a piece of wood, and it's all solid. So I think it's cool. You
Yeah,
know,
no,
I'm
that's-
thinking it was just Atari at the time. That was towards the end of the era there, where they were starting to make things a little cheaper.
You
And,
you were saying that maybe they're trying to save money. Is that what they're trying to do?
Yeah, they were probably. I don't know if they're going out of business is the word, but it was towards the end where they just wanted to make things, you know, just spit them all out. And this was a surprise hit, I guess, for them because they did make Rolling Thunder 2. So this was, I want to say 86. So, but it's in nice shape. I mean, this is all vinyl. It's not painted. So I can always just add vinyl over it, fix up the edges later on. But for now, you know, it's going to go in between cabs. You're not going to see that.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about this.
And it's, you know, I like original stuff. I'm starting to not care. That's how you know you're in it deep, when you start not caring about stuff and like, wait, I really like that stuff. Like I have a Galaxian that somebody scratched their high score on the side. I love it. So I loved it.
Permanent. You have to beat that high score every time you play.
Yeah. Well, I got to get the high score kit.
You just carve your name on the side. Okay?
Yeah.
Now we're not here to work on this. Oh, right.
We're not. We're gonna actually go downstairs and work on our Outrun. So let's head down there. Head to the basement. Yeah. Right now, this is like the broken row. But you know that Outrun right over there is not going to be broken later
Oh
on
yeah.
today.
So we're gonna work on this. We've got 2 Outruns we're gonna take a look at. We got this one here that's out of order.
Mhm.
And is this
Yeah,
the
let
one
me turn
that's
on some
working?
lights for you. It'll be easier.
Oh, sure.
There you go.
All right. Cool. So, Jason, this is the one that you've got running, right?
Yes, this has the enhanced thing on there too. You can see it saved my scores.
Yep.
But this one I got running, I guess, over a few episodes, and I got it glitched out when I first got it. It wasn't working. It had sound, but then I figured out that I just had burned the ROMs wrong because I had to replace them. So yeah, it's pretty decent. It looks nice on this side. It's pretty, you know, there's a lot of patina actually. But on the other side, it's completely missing. If you want to look at that.
Yeah, I mean that's unfortunate. But I mean they did. Looks like they started to take care of it, and then
Yeah, and you can see when we turn it around, you'll see it's really bad here. There's a whole chunk missing there.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's cracked. So we're planning to take this cab and transplant it into this one because this one does have side art. This is the one that Mike gave us.
This mic?
This mic. This
is
mic
Mike
right here.
Hand delivered it.
He was in the episode too. So yeah, we'll take it out and we'll probably change out the marquee and stuff. And I believe the fixture in here is broken.
Okay.
I might have spare fixtures. I have a few. We can figure it out.
So we're gonna take some good parts from this cabinet and we're gonna
transplant it.
Over
Basically,
here.
take the best of both, make a nice cabinet, and then the other one we'll figure out what I want to do with it later down the road.
Okay. Yeah, and as we start working on things, we'll kind of document what we film here. Hopefully, it's nice and exciting, right, Jason?
Yeah. Hopefully, I think it will be. We'll have our hands full.
All right. Very cool. Let's get to work.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, so we already switched it. This is the one from the other cabinet because the one on this one that we're transplanting from was in nicer shape. I actually redid everything. I put the wire brush to it. This has the brand new fan in there, which is a lot quieter.
And a dead battery.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, I have the charger. I'll just plug it in for a little bit. Representing John, by the way, with the t-shirt. Growfest.
Any word
I've
on
never
that?
been, but I ordered one to support him, you know.
Any word on that for this year?
I don't know.
I haven't
They
looked.
always have someone at Grinkers.
Yep.
There's a lot of cool people there. I've seen other channels too that I got to meet up with. The 8-Bit Pit, he goes there.
Oh yeah.
And he's in the same boat with you guys. You both need like more subscribers. So subscribe up. I'll leave links in the description for these guys.
Yeah, the new YouTube partnership program has changed it so you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of view time. I put that 1,000-hour mark. I mean, I'm sorry, the 1,000 subscriber mark, but not the 4,000 hour. I'm like 500 hours short. But yeah, it's fine.
All right, so now we got to get the screw. You had it down there, right?
The screw?
For the ground.
That's a nut, and it's by your right hand on the rug. So Jason's actually in here working. This is good.
I always work, man. Come on.
And he's got a camera slot.
Oh wait, I forgot. He
camera
doesn't
man.
watch my channel.
That's right.
That's right.
I don't watch anybody anymore.
He only
That's
watches-
why nobody watches mine.
He only watches people with a million subscribers.
You have a good channel. Yeah. And then I just saw some video of Mike's Arcade. Not the Mike's Arcade, but you know.
Oh yeah.
Mike's
Oh, yes.
He has a big, and he has a retro section. I mean, you should, at least post it online so people can link to it. That'd be cool.
We'll do a video tour sometime.
Well, yeah, we will.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would be. So Jason's down here. We're putting a new AC wire on.
Just getting the ground in there.
Putting the ground on it.
And then we can. All right, we're having a quick update here.
Oh,
So what's the problem? What's happening?
Well, I was just trying to check your voltage here so we know what our voltage should be when we go over to that.
Right, so we're
thing.
doing force feedback right now.
Yeah, we're
because it
looking
works
at
on
the
this machine.
shaker motor, and it's good. I must have a bad connection because I wasn't getting any reading. So we should be able to see what the voltage is up there.
So light helping?
Yeah, oh yeah, helps a lot. Voltage should be around 45. So we know that when we check the other side, we should be able to check and make sure we got voltage. Another thing I've seen happen is that circuit breaker can go, and then there's this other board down here that can sometimes go bad.
Right, because the fuse on that for the marquee is shorted on the actual block somewhere. I discovered that by accident when I was swapping out
Okay.
the thing the other day. So it's a good thing that we're switching from this cabinet. This is the older one
Yeah.
that we don't want.
Yeah,
So if you can't do it,
no, we'll be able to. We should be able to get it because we just want to make sure that we got power over here and we can actually make it force feedback there. And I brought you a spare motor too if we need a spare motor.
I wonder if I have the cap too that we need. It's probably in my Outrun parts. I have like a whole section.
Yeah, I've got that too if you need it.
Okay.
You gotta do the super cap here. Did you do the super cap?
Yeah, you know what? It's been saving the scores. Like I haven't played it in a long time, and it saved it. It still says my thing
Oh,
there.
good.
So.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So at least it lasts at
It
least
will
a
last
couple
a
weeks.
little while, yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have one of those?
I do.
Extra?
Super caps. I can give you one.
Yeah, I put it in mine. It's great.
No, I,
Yeah, I always order
just
extra.
haven't done
It
yet.
pays for a couple more bucks.
Yeah.
You pay for shipping. You might as well just tack another one on there. Yeah.
Nice.
maybe we can actually reach it from that side.
So,
versus going
I was
through
going
the
to say,
cab.
I pulled the control panel because now you can measure it at the motor.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Okay.
That's the one that goes. So the one that comes that I
Oh,
have
it is
plugged
that
is
one.
here.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay,
coming
right.
from board.
And that goes to the motor. Yep, okay.
Yeah, again, just to recap, what we're doing is just testing the voltage because we know the force feedback on this one is working, just testing the board out. The other one does not work, so we're going to troubleshoot to try to get it working.
So we're gonna read voltage. It should be about 45. It's coming in about 50, so we're okay.
So what's the minus there for?
Because I've got it connected backwards.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So you'll
yeah.
read it as a negative voltage versus a positive
Okay.
voltage.
Gotcha.
So I love finding operator hacks on these Sega Outruns. So one of my hacks that I had seen in the past is they put an Allen key here so that when you would turn the wheel to go lock to lock, it would stop. So
I
there was
did
actually
see that. I
an
remember
Allen
that.
key there.
I think I saw that.
But on here, Jason, you got one here where the gear has since fallen apart, and they've put a hose clamp here to hold the gear
it together.
back together.
That's crazy.
And it's working. You know, it's doing the job. I mean, I'm moving this with my hand, so
Well, you can't over tighten it because then it'll crack.
it's already cracked.
Well, yeah, crack more, I should say.
But you can tell here. So this is the reason this one clicks is we're missing a tooth. Right here, and this is a commonplace. They all break right there, so you
Oh,
get
yeah, I
that
see it, yeah.
right there, and that's when you can sometimes feel a click. And there's another one. That click right there is from that broken one because that tooth is not straight.
Wow.
So that is that click you hear, that gear. So we did make you some gears. Mike made some gears that we could
Yeah, we have them.
replace that, but we're not taking this.
I mean, we're not doing it today, but
No,
but
actually-
this is it right here.
Yeah, so these are the
3D printed them.
printed gears, and I don't know if you guys remember when I did my 3D printed gears, I did them in yellow, but these are the same one, same file came from the same guy, that the lovely guy Mike. Where's Mike? Mike's inside the Sega Outrun right now. There he is.
There he is. Oh, he got his boards. He's like, hey,
Oh,
my
you get the
turn.
board.
Yeah. So those are the gears that Mike made, and on here,
Yeah, these are
so
them.
he would need to replace a few. There's the one that attaches to the potentiometer here, and one thing you can do with these gears is if you clean them up, you can actually, if they're just cracked, you can throw some epoxy in there.
Yeah.
And it'll hold them together and it'll save them for a little bit more
Okay.
time. Maybe a little bit neater.
And obviously let
than
him
a hose
cure
clamp.
with it not inside the other tooth.
Right,
'cause
I
then
leave them in
they'll-
a vise.
Okay.
And I'll keep it all so it's nice and, around the brass fixture there.
But now we know this works too. Who knows how long it's been there either. I mean,
It works,
could have been there
yeah.
forever.
It'll do the job.
I thought you were talking about this when he said, "Oh, look at the hack." I was on the other end looking at that.
Oh, well, that
I
was the
like,
hack
well,
on
that
mine,
looks,
yeah.
yeah.
And you actually still have the rubber stop there, which is good too, because sometimes that's also missing.
Right.
But that's not necessary. It just makes it so you don't clank.
And look, the springs. I found springs on the bottom of the cabinet that were broken, so these look like they were replaced.
Yeah, and these springs, you can actually get something very similar that'll work at a hardware store. Your local hardware store has a close fitting spring that'll do the job if you can't find them.
Okay.
Cool. So, hacky. But works. Hey, Mike. How are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Mike.
Yeah.
You see this gas pedal here?
Yeah.
Mike, I pulled this gas pedal off of your Sega Outrun that
Yeah.
you gave Jason.
Yeah.
But, Mike, this thing isn't straight. In fact, it's curved in the concave direction. What had happened?
Well, I needed more speed.
Yeah. Let me look at this. Check this out. Right. So it was actually on an outrun just like that. So it was pretty much almost flat, right?
Yeah, close to flat.
Close to flat because it was bent.
Right.
So it was kind of like that. So look at it.
Were you not going
You see
fast
that?
enough, Mike?
I know, I needed more
So
speed.
technically, if the bolts are the other way, it actually matches better this way, backwards.
But what happened, Mike?
See,
More speed. Captain, you can't take it.
so what he's gonna do? You're gonna bend it to match.
Yeah.
I actually like that we have another one for reference, but he says he's done so many that that's why I left it to him to do.
Yeah, I mean, we're not
But
going to
we
get
have
the
a
curve
vise. You can grab
perfect,
that.
but we're going to put it into a vise. We'll clamp it down. We'll straighten it out. It'll take a
Yeah, I'm
few
not sure how it goes
presses,
in. You can.
but we'll put it in this vise, clamp it down, and it'll get a lot better than what it was. Now the other one is missing the wooden block. They actually put a little wooden block under here,
You can see, take out the dust here, but that's it right there.
and basically that kind of keeps the pedal from going down all the way like that. Eventually that block gets broken and people squash the heck out of it, or they squash the heck out of it anyway.
So I wonder over time if I can make a. Do you have one on yours?
Yes.
Okay, because
just
we
a-
could always I could always make one.
It's
Take
just
that
a
one
wooden
off
block,
and
yeah.
But I'll do that, you know, over time.
Yeah, and then a lot of, you know, Jason and I were talking. This pin that's here, it's almost never here. And in fact, on both of Jason's machines, it's gone.
Like this one right here, right?
Yeah, there's a little pin that goes through there.
Is it a cotter pin of some sort?
Yeah, like a little rod. And then even mine's been replaced. It was like a bolt that somebody had put in on one of them. And what happens is afterwards, it'll bind up because it wears away the metal. And so you'd go down halfway, and then it'll click and it'll go down the rest of the way. And it makes it for a very awful time to drive. So a lot of time they just get taken out.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't fall off or anything.
No, and it honestly...
And I didn't even know it was gone until I just lifted it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
But I mean, that's it. So we're going to go ahead and we'll straighten up that gas pedal. I'll put it in the vise and we'll clamp it down and go from there.
And we're not doing anything really cosmetic right now, right? Because I'm not going to take a wire brush to it today.
No, I mean, if you have one. If you have one on a wire wheel, if you have one of those.
Yeah.
It takes like 5 minutes.
I have one, it's on a grinder.
Yeah, it'll take like 5 minutes. But it's up to you. We can do it. It's really quick. Because this is just... It's got some surface rust on it. And
Alright, we'll see. Maybe I'll whip it out. It's accessible too. Cool. But thanks again. We just want to give you a shout out for that great gas pedal. Alright guys, so this is what we're at so far. I'm going to link up to Tim's channel because he has a whole bunch of stuff that he did, you know, like where he rebuilt this whole thing with Mike. Mike's going to get a channel in the future. We're just kidding. So everything's in that. You can see I was testing a fixture on top. But I just wanted to say thanks, guys, just for coming down, helping out. You guys are experts totally in Outrun.
No problem.
And you would have, I would have been here for weeks trying to.
This is like working on a car. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna get just as dirty working on a car because the amount of grease and dirt on this thing is.
Yeah, but
ridiculous.
look at that. Ugh, it's crazy.
So this was the one that we pulled. We were gonna pull some things from. I had a steering mech that we donated parts from.
Yeah, thanks for that too.
The force feedback going on the other one. It was a blown circuit breaker because it was binding up.
Yep.
And because it was binding up, that caused it to trip.
Right.
And there was also that arm that was really wide.
Yeah, and also, I mean, we were there grinding, right? With the
we had to
Dremel.
take a lock washer off. They put a lock
washer
back, way back in here, so you couldn't actually get the cotter pin on.
Yeah, it was really nuts in there.
And it had started to wear away that shaft.
Oh yeah, do you have that? We don't have it anymore, right? That shaft?
Oh, it's on.
Is it on there?
We put it. We had to put that. We only had one.
Oh, okay.
No, the bad one.
We had to put the bad one back on, right? Oh no, the bad one. Oh, I had to put it on my.
Oh man.
Parts.
It's back
Well,
on
I'll throw a
one.
picture of it because we have it, and I'll throw it on the screen now so you can see it. And it was really bad, just worn down. I can't believe this metal did that to the softer metal, the steel, right?
Right, because it was missing that brass fitting. There's a brass fitting in here.
Yeah, so this thing right here was blown out. Yeah. But now it's better, much better than it was, and
Only one Band-Aid.
yeah, and he got a little hurt.
Only one Band-Aid.
So I'm still torn. I don't know if you guys want to vote in the comments below whether I should keep the Outrun marquee and bring it over, because this one has a turbo Outrun side art, so I might just keep that marquee on there. I'm not sure. So you guys voted just keep it on, right?
I say keep it on. It looks kind of cool.
Keep it turbo.
I would definitely keep the sticker on the side. I would not pull
You think so? I was going to pull it off.
Well, the
'Cause it might be
problem-
faded, right?
Yeah, that's the problem. I think if you pull it, it's going to be a different color.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't put it on strip.
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I just hate to put like brand new side art on that if it's not completely done. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
So, it is what it is. All right, guys. So I'll take it from here. I'll continue the episode. I know you guys got to run, but thanks again, Mike.
Yep.
And Tim. And don't
easy,
forget to
Jason.
subscribe to his channel.
Yeah.
At Tim Guy Games at Twitter.
Yeah, that Tim Guy Games on Twitter and wherever it is on YouTube.
Okay, yeah. So I'll link it in the description below, and also I'll put like a hot tag at the end where I can just click on it.
Fancy.
Yeah,
Fancy.
So. All right, guys. So it's actually a few days later, and I actually put the fixture in. This one here was broken right here on this edge right there, and I ended up wiring it up, and it's perfect. It works great. This is just an old recycled fixture that I had from other arcade parts. I did already switch the monitors. I just put them in there, you know, really loosely. I didn't put the whole bezel back and everything because I need to recap both of them. But before I do it, man, this is actually the monitor that was in the other machine. You can see a little bit of burn-in, but again, when you play, it's not really noticeable because the car is already there, and it's really typical for Outrun monitors. So I have that one, and then I have this one over here. This is the one that used to be in that machine. So I went ahead and swapped those. This one actually says insert coin, and there's some other, you can see gauges and stuff. It looks like it was other games as well. So that's actually the inferior monitor compared to this one. But this one, man, this one was really filthy. I already went ahead and discharged it. You can see here, I'm just gonna kind of just show you, it's super, super, super filthy. And I need to recap everything down there. You can see inside, and it's really dirty. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and remove the PCB as well, and the chassis. That way I can just wash that separately. I'm just gonna toss some water on it, simple green, really quick, let it dry, and then I'm gonna go ahead and recap it. So I'm gonna have other videos on how to do that. For now, I'm just gonna take it out and at least wash it so you guys can see me washing the whole process. I've done other videos on that before. Leave in the comments if you want me to do any future ones on that, because it's really easy to do when I have like 9 or 10 monitors to do. So yeah, so basically you see here, this is the original color of the tube, and this is, once this gets washed off, you'll see it'll be similar to that. This one is super, super filthy and dirty. And I don't want it to be a fire hazard, you know, being back here in this enclosed space, even though I do have that new fan that I got. So let's go ahead and remove this. We'll bring it outside and we'll start washing it. All right, guys, so we're outside in the backyard. I have my hose set up. You'll see that I don't have a nozzle on it, and it's on purpose because you don't want any pressure on it. You can wash it as is. You can even have the cup, which is what I may do. You can do it with or without the cup, but just make sure you discharge it beforehand. There are plenty of videos on the web how to do that. And because I don't want to really get this corroded at all, I tend to like to, I'll clean around the area and then I'll just put it back on just so it doesn't get wet. But it can get wet. This is pressured. There's not, water won't go in the tube because it is a pressured tube. Same thing goes for the neck board on the back with the pins, but I don't want the pins to get corroded. And you can see it's really, really filthy. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I normally wear gloves, but it's only simple green, so it's not a big deal. So let me go ahead. First thing I'm gonna do is just remove the chassis because I do want to recap it. And I don't think I have the right, let's make it work. There we go. So there's one. There's the other. I'm gonna put these in my pocket because we're outside, I don't want to lose it. And this should just pop right out. Let's see here. Yep, it slides right out. It's one of the easier things to do. And you definitely want to take pictures if you don't know how to do it already. I'm not sure if I have my camera. You know what? I'll show you guys too while I do it. So always have your camera ready. Let's see. I'll keep the flash on. That way it gets nice and bright. And, you know, if you're unsure where to connect it, just take pictures. So let me go on this side. So basically, it looks like everything's pretty much soldered on the board, which is, actually no, it's not, I can't really tell on the side here. But anyway, I'm gonna take it out a little bit. I may just do that just to get in with it. Typically you take it off, you can wash it in a sink if you want to. I usually leave this on, or you can just leave the whole thing in there. Just be careful. In the past, I've done stuff with MDF on the bottom, and the MDF will just soak up all the water and get really fat on you. I didn't care on the 2 other old monitors I did, but on this one, you know, don't forget that it is metal. So, you know, it's not gonna really do anything when it comes to like swelling and all that stuff. So, all right. So now that we have everything all kind of out, and you can take everything off, so I'm going to take a quick picture of it. Okay, that way I can tell where everything goes. This basically is for the degousing. Take that out. You can see that the red is on top, so in case I forget, because I tend to work on projects, then I have to drop them to do other things, so the red goes on top, just so I know. And as far as any other connection you have, obviously this was connected. Yeah, you're gonna have to cut this wire because it doesn't have anything to kind of disconnect from. This does here, which is the RGB and the sink here and the ground. So I'm just gonna leave it. Let me go ahead and get a brush though, that way I can show you guys exactly, you know, this is terrible. So something like this, you definitely don't want to be handling while you recap it. So this is why I'm cleaning it all. I might actually get a horizontal coil adjustment there. I might get a new one because this one is okay, but I don't know. We'll see how it is. This is a monitor that was working fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it thoroughly in this, this little portion here, and we're going to get it to work without it recapping. That way you can see that it still does work, that I didn't do anything when I was recapping it to mess it up. And you'll see that after I wash it and everything, we'll let it completely dry. And as long as it's completely dry, you're able to turn it on and nothing will happen. So that's it. So let me go ahead and get that paintbrush. It's really fine brush that I'm going to get. And it'll just help clean the chassis a little better. All right, guys, so I grabbed the paintbrush. This one is super soft. It's really kind of a more expensive brush. It's like a Pro Wooster brush. And I use it, basically, I have it dedicated to cleaning PCBs. And this itself will actually clean the PCB. So if you really don't want to do this whole extreme thing, you can actually just do what I'm doing here. And you'll see a lot of dust is coming out. So you can go ahead and do that really gently. I figure, so I'm recapping it anyway. Might as well just, it's harder to do up here, but it does come off. You can see it is coming off. You can do the same thing over here. Just do that and not wash it. I'm just washing it to show you that for me, it's always never been an issue. It's completely safe. So just make sure again that it's discharged and everything. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm not gonna use the brush on this part when I put the simple green because I don't want any of the Aquadag. You can see it right here. You can see the outline of it. It actually is all this area here. It's kind of like a grayish. You can see it when I take the dust off. So basically that, you can see it's a little scratched up from people taking it out and stuff, but you don't want to really scrub on there. If it happens, it happened on my Nintendo, on my 20EZ. There's some that's water soluble, so it does happen. So you don't really want the simple green on there too long, but if it happens, they do have this thing. It's like a small bottle, looks like nail polish. You basically just paint it on there. It basically, you get it from Amazon. I'll put a link in the description in case, and then you just fix it, But it's not gonna do anything bad. If it does fall off, you'll just see little sparklies and stuff on the monitor. But you do wanna patch them up if you can with that stuff that I linked in the description. And that's it. It's a little pricey, but it goes a long way, that little nail polish thing. So let me go ahead, we'll prep this. I'm gonna start spraying it with simple green, and we'll go ahead and get to washing it. Okay, we're back. So what I'm gonna do, I think, is just clean this little area here with the brush, just to make sure that there's no debris and dirt and stuff in there. And I'm gonna go ahead and pop this thing back on. And this thing is nice and clean under here, but it's really dirty on this side. So go ahead and pop this in. One side, and oops. And it's really important that you actually need I could probably do it by hand. There we go. You know what? It's not in right. See if I can get it in. There we go. Actually, that looks right. Okay. So the anode cup is on. Again, if water gets underneath, it's not a big deal. You can have it off. So I'm just taking regular simple green, setting it for spray. I think there's a foam setting. You can have it foam. You actually want it to the spray setting here. And you just go to town. The other thing too, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video, and I'm gonna take this off right here. This I don't want getting wet because obviously it's gonna deteriorate and crumble, and I wanna keep this to keep it back on. So it's just put on with zip ties. I'm gonna quickly cut it off, save this piece, and then do it afterwards. All right, so I grab my little snips, take this part off, and this one here. Oops. Perfect, so I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna go ahead and dust this off while I'm at it. You don't wanna get water on this because it'll pretty much disintegrate. Don't forget, this is from the 80s and 90s, this this stuff, so you definitely want to preserve it. I'll put it over there. All right, so that's it. I'm just going to test my water, make sure I have it here. Should be, yeah. Okay, so that's good. And that's it. So let's go ahead and get this done. So basically I'm getting the tube. As you can see, everything's discharged like we just talked about. Make sure I get the board here. I don't really spend much time on the back, you know, because the back right here, it's not really what's dirty, that was covered, but you do want to get the wires. So I'm kind of, as you spray it, that's really what's scrubbing it. So this, you're going to lose this warning label. It's just telling you not to connect it without an isolation transformer. That's fine, it's not a big deal. So I'll clean that up later. So you want to get in the little cracks. You can see the dirt's coming right off. I'm also going to get the chassis, which is over here. I got to mute my phone because it keeps going off. Okay. So this paper here, there's tons of diagrams online. You don't really need it. So I'm just getting it all in this here, right on the board. Just, that's really what I want clean, because when I recap this later, it'll be way easier. People are going, oh my God, what is he doing to that monitor? Done it many times. So it's, water's fine for electronics. And this won't really corrode, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, so I'm gonna quickly do this, the front. There's a lot of crap in there. I might use a brush on that actually, just to get it out. Yeah, this is really filthy over here. The side here, front. I'll just do that really quick. Again, you don't want to scrub the Aquadag in the back. And the side. I'm also going to kind of scrub on the side here on the metal. It's really dirty. And right here, super dirty too. My goal is to grab this with no gloves and not be dirty. All right, so let's go ahead and give it a rinse. Put my cutters over there so they don't get wet. And this is fully adjustable here. So I'm just gonna have it on a light setting. Very light. So I'm just gonna quickly rinse it off. First thing you wanna rinse off would be the back here to get the soap off. And it looks like the Aquadag is fine. Let me go ahead and turn it around so you guys can see. Can you guys see that in there? Yeah, you can. Okay, good. I'm just gentle pressure, nothing crazy. It's actually, it doesn't hurt or anything when you do it, so it's on pretty much the lowest setting. You'll get it here on the winding. Now I'm going to kind of lift the PCB up, get it in there. And don't forget, when you're drying it, you can use air. I might use air. I tend to not do that because if you're in a rush, I guess I would do it, but I usually just shake these out and make sure there's nothing in there. But sometimes I'll take some canned air, blow it in there. I have a compressor, so I might do that. And then get into here. I'll get in on the top here. Front. And typically I'll stop right there, but I might give it another quick spray. Not really on here. This is great. I love that. But maybe on the chassis, it still looks a little dirty in the center. I didn't quite get in there. And again, I don't want to disconnect it right now because I do want to connect it back to show you guys that it works. But normally you'd take it completely out because you're going to do it anyway if you're going to recap it. So lift it over here, get underneath. And you can turn it and stuff. I'm not going to because the chassis is going to fly around, but let me go ahead and turn it off. I'll kind of get in here again. I see a lot of dirt right there. So I'm kind of going point blank with it to kind of blast it out of there. I might actually scrub a little bit with this. And it's fine to do that. This is really, like I said, the bristles are really not abrasive. It's nice and soft. But beware of doing it with a, I guess you can do it with a cheaper brush, but I wouldn't, because you really want to be delicate here. Okay. So I am gonna, again, we're gonna recap it, but I will turn it on to show you guys that it's working. So I'm kind of getting in between here. That looks good. I see everything's nice and clean inside. Over here too. I'll quickly do that since I didn't do it before. Same thing here. Okay. All right, and hopefully it'll stay. I want to kind of get underneath here. I know it's dirty there too. Yep, I missed a whole spot here. And we'll just kind of get the front there. And I'm going to go ahead and just grab the hose. And make sure it's open a little bit. That's fine. So I have about, now that we're talking about this, I watched a 20 Easy a long time ago on my channel. My channel is about 10 years old right now. I started with MAME, on how to wire stuff, and I really have to revisit that because I love MAME too. MAME's really what gets me to buy games. If I check it out in MAME and if I really like it, I buy the original. It's also good for troubleshooting. I use it to troubleshoot Outrun. So anyway, so I do have like how to wire a control panel for beginners, how to run ground, how to daisy chain. I kind of showed my setup for my main machine. I may revisit that. I did back then, you know, it was in style to build a Franken panel, and that's what I built. I had a flight controller on there. I had trackball, 4 players. It had everything. Spinner. It's great for Tron and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll revisit that because that one, it's hard to see, and now I have HD and I have good lighting, and I can kind of put a video together for beginners because that's where you got to start in this hobby. Got to start with MAME. Whoever says they just started with arcades, they're lying. Everybody started with emulation at one point. They've seen it, they've tried it. So it's important. It's part of the history, right? Getting things to work. And it's a great tool. Everybody burns ROMs from them when they're trying to repair boards because people captured it for them. So, you know, I can't hate on it as much as people do. All right, so that's it. So now I'm just gonna kind of put it out in the sun. Right now there's not much sun, so I'm just gonna put it on the side, but you can basically put it like that. Then you turn it like every hour or so. That way it drips differently. You see how everything's dripping out. I might come and blast it with some air because I do have a compressor, which is unlimited air, and I can just kind of get in the cracks. I may just do that because I started this late in the day, but it was just so nice out today that I figured why not. So that's it. And you guys can see. I'll get a little closer in here. You can see the before and after. So that would be the before, and this is the after. Really good stuff, really does help. So I'm gonna let this completely dry out. I usually try to let it dry out for, I don't know, you could do 24 hours to 48 hours. I'm not gonna be working on this till next week, so it's actually really good that I let it dry for like, you know, a whole week. But you know, take as long as you want. You could always never be careful, too careful, I guess. But electronics do not like water once they're turned on, but when they're off, it's completely safe. All right, guys, so we're back. So I let this dry about a week and a half. Normally it'd just be a couple days, but I just got busy. But I did kind of take compressed air. I have a compressor that has unlimited air, and basically just blew in all the plugs. Like I unplugged the plugs and blew inside them and stuff. You know, something like this. You know, I blew inside there just to make sure everything's out. and blew around here, around just this area, just the whole thing, just to make sure it's completely dry. And then I let it sit downstairs. If you live like in Arizona or something, this thing will dry in a day. My other monitor, what I did is I just left it outside, and then every couple of hours I just kind of, you know, turn it this way and that way, and basically the water would drip differently and evaporate. And it was in the sun, but since it was overcast that day, I didn't do that. But it is completely clean. So what I'm going to do before I cap it, which I'll probably do in another episode, I at least wanted to kind of pop it in there and show you as is, you know, once it's all dry. I didn't do anything. I just put the board back in. I'm just going to stick it inside the cabinet and we can see if it fires up. It should, but I always like to test that before because, you know, I don't want to do a cap kit and then it doesn't work. And then I'm wondering, well, was it because I wet it? I did something wrong. I didn't let it dry enough, or I messed up the cap kit itself. So I'm going to put it in there. It should fire up normally. I'm going to put it in the new machine. All I have to do is change the plugs around a little bit, but basically it should still work. Figured might as well I'll stick it in the original machine because I already moved the boards over. And then what we'll do is we'll put a, I guess TPG, which is test pattern generator. We'll connect it just to see kind of how it looks before, and then we'll just take a look after in the next episode. You know, if it really helps if I cap it, which I think it will. It looks pretty good as is, but I'm sure it could look a lot sharper once I do the cap kit on it, and I do have it in stock for that. So let's go ahead and pop this thing in, and we'll see if it works. All right, guys, so I have it positioned. You can see my old Outrun in the background, which has no side rod on the left side, and I'm going to pop it in the new one. So I'm just going to put it in. I'm not going to screw it down or anything, but I figured I'd at least get it in here. We'll plug it in. And I did double check all the connections now off camera just to make sure everything was connected, and it was. So it should slide right in. So make sure it slides in without smacking the back. And you got to be careful. Some of the necks on some of them, like the other one that I have for that was in this one that I swapped to the other one, has a little bit of a longer neck, so it does kind of just almost touch the back. You just want to be careful not to shove it in there. This one is a little shorter and it works fine. I'm not going to screw it in. We're just going to kind of put it together as is. Let me just grab this. And let me go ahead and just plug the power in. And the connectors for the boards. So let's see, you got RGB over here. And we also have the ground, which goes in these over here. All right, just double checking my connections. I'm also giving a wiggle to the anode cup just to make sure it is discharged. Even though I had it sitting for a week, I just stuck the screwdriver in there just in case, just to make sure, and it was good. So now I'm just double checking my connections once more. It's always good to double and triple check. Okay, neck board is on. All right, that looks good. Now let me check the connections on the board just to make sure I didn't knock anything loose here. RGB cable looks like it's in there, and all the power cables and everything. All right, so the only thing I didn't connect was a fan. The panel's actually over there. I just wanted to be able to see inside in case anything goes wrong with the monitor. I can kind of see it without, you know, having to wonder with that panel, because it's a weird design on these Outruns, kind of a pain. So I took the whole back thing off. I took the fan off. I unplugged it. So the panel's over there. All right, so let's see. Let me grab the power cord, which is right here. I should have done this ahead of time. All right. And I'm going to plug that in right here. And I already have it, I believe, turned on. I just got to turn the power switch on. So here it goes, guys. Let me actually turn this light off here so you can see a little better when it turns on. All right, I'm just gonna walk over here just to make sure. And okay, the monitor's on. See neck glow. I see the board's lit as well. And there you go. So I did adjust the monitor a little bit. I kind of maybe twisted wires when I was cleaning it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my tool. I'm going to go grab it real quick, and I'll be back, and I'm just going to adjust it quickly, just so it looks decent. All right, guys, so we're back. So I'm going to adjust the lines here. You can see right here on the bottom, it's kind of a little off, and up here too. Doesn't really matter, like I said, because I'm going to adjust it and basically, you know, do a cap kit. It's very possible I moved the knobs when I was cleaning it, but I do have this tool. Now this here, I'll show you kind of up close. This is a really, really long. You can see how long it is. You know, kind of just like if I do that, and I go back a little bit, it's really long. Look at the size on the screen. Super long, it's awesome. I'll leave a link in the description. It's basically a adjustment tool that I found on eBay that somebody recommended, and it's super long. With this, I'm not really afraid. Before I was a little nervous, like when it's on, to touch stuff, you know, with the other shorter tools. But this one is awesome. You can get a lot of stuff, and it has, you know, you can adjust the horizontal width and everything. It has like that thing, the keyed, almost like an Allen wrench on one side, and then it has like the I guess screwdriver on the other side, and also the Allen wrench, which is a little thicker. So it's really cool. It's an awesome tool. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust it, but in the meantime, I want to show you this. Now this here is a mirror that I kind of constructed and put together, but this is one of those lamps, those reading lamps that you kind of clip to the side of the bed. So it has like a little twisty thing over here. I actually removed that portion. It has a nut right here. So I got this for like $10 at Walmart somewhere. And then I took this mirror, it was maybe, I don't know, $2 or $3 at the dollar store, and put them together and concocted this. So what this does, I'm able to actually clip it. So I'm about to clip it on the side, and you kind of adjust it so I can see from the back what's going on without having to kind of, you know, crane my head around and have to worry about holding stuff or mirrors falling. So I'm just going to adjust it now so I can see the bottom, which I can. So I can see it right here, no problem, without having to bend around. And I think to adjust that, let's see, it says vertical position, vertical size. I think vertical size is what I got to do. So I'm going to go ahead, and even though there's a knob here, there's like a little screw in there. For like a flathead screw, I just stick this adjustment tool in there. I don't have to worry. My hand's not even near the neck or anything, and I'm just slowly opening it. So it has a pretty good range. Usually when it doesn't go anymore, you know you have to cap it. So I'm not sure when this was last capped. Now I'm kind of looking at the top now. It looks like the top is a little off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue. All right, guys, so I took the time a little bit just to adjust it. It doesn't really matter at this point because, like I said, I am going to recap this, so it should look a lot better. But at least you can get a before and after kind of image here. And it looks pretty good. I did dial it in. Not perfect. I wasn't able to adjust the vertical position. Like I can do the width and everything, or the height and the, you know, all that stuff, but I just couldn't do the width for some reason. No matter what I did with the knob, it didn't work. I did order a spare knob with my cap kit, so hopefully once I cap it and then, you know, do everything, I can just throw that in there. I might as well, and see what that does for it. So, but yeah, so this isn't, you know, really adjusted. You can see here the A and the Sega is kind of cut off, so it says SEG Seg. So I can adjust it, but again, I'm not going to bother because I am capping it. So we'll probably do that in a future episode, but for now, I think I'm going to end this episode here. Don't forget, guys, to subscribe, pass it on. We did hit 2K finally, so I do have 2K subscribers. That's really cool. It's a great milestone. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a giveaway. I had one last time. It was just kind of a pain because I did too much, I think, at that point. I did like 10 giveaways in one. So this one, what I'll do, I think I may do a giveaway. I already have an idea of what I'm going to give away. It's gaming related, of course. But yeah, 2K, guys, thanks so much. Thanks for subscribing and being there the whole time. For those who have been there from the beginning, I mean, I've had a YouTube channel for about 10 years now. You know, and I really started ramping it up last year with new graphics and new content and all that. So I really have a lot planned for this channel. So thanks again. Again, don't forget to hit the bell icon right here that you see in the lower right. That actually notifies you if I post an episode. It'll actually give you an email. Whereas if you don't, you just have to come and visit the channel anyway, which I hope you guys are doing. But again, thanks guys. I do have a Facebook group. You'll see at the end, you know, what the actual address is called, but it's DeLuSioNaL's Arcade. If you just search for DeLuSioNaL's Arcade, you just have to answer a question why, you know, what you want to see on the channel, what you like to see, and then I usually approve it, you know, the same day. And you could discuss episodes there. You can get help if you have any questions or anything. I'm usually pretty good about helping people out. And of course, if you leave stuff in the comments, I'll answer it as well. All right, guys, so that's it. I guess I'll see you next time, and thanks for watching. Take care.